Next up, we have New Year featuring, I can't read that, from Cheetah Mobile from the Rolling Sky soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, members have early access. There's a whole spiel about a bunch of stuff. I'm putting that at the end of the video now, so stick around for all those things, including like when to catch the stream schedule, all that kind of stuff. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so we'll go ahead and pause the video if you wanted to read them in full. Otherwise, let's go ahead and do this. New year. Let's go. Okay, so we start with three main components right now. We have a percussion that sounds like a ticking clock. Then we have two other lines. One of them is a guitar doing arpeggios, which arpeggios is when you play a chord one note at a time. And by the way, Go Simpa, welcome today. How you doing? Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome today. How have you been? All right, so I'm gonna address this. This is a virtual keyboard. I have a physical keyboard that is plugged in. It's a MIDI keyboard. It's even animated, so you can see what I'm playing. I've had this all along. The software has been installed in the computer. The keyboard has been right under my monitor this entire time. I forgot it was there. I legit forgot it was there. We are well over 450 LFAs in. And I forgot that I could use this keyboard and I could use this software. Like, all I needed was to just switch one setting in this keyboard. So I fully expect you to roast me and just shame me in chat. Context, East or West. I like East-West. I used East-West for most of my stuff. Everything except the drums. For drums, I use Studio Drummer from Contact. I like the drums in Studio Contact better. But for everything else, I use East-West. I have both East-West and Contact, so yeah. Anyway, so the concept of an arpeggio. Yes, do shame me, because oh boy. Refuse to give me notifications streams, and I have notifications. Okay, so if YouTube keeps not giving you notifications, just join the Discord, because I ping everyone when the stream goes live. I ping everybody for updates in the server and when the stream goes live, so. Anyway, so the concept of arpeggios, right? You have here the concept of a block chord. Here's a block chord, right? C major. Arpeggio is when you play it one note at a time. That's it, and you can do whatever many combinations you can do, including chord inversions, which I think partially is what is happening over here. So what is a chord inversion? In this channel, we have talked about the concept of inversion when it comes to melody. When it comes to melody, because when you have music, you have three components: melody, harmony, and rhythm. Now, when it comes to melody, a melodic inversion is when you have a melody, let's say this, our trustworthy, like ever trusty C major motif, and you flip it upside down. So instead of going up, it would go down. That is the concept of inversion in the melody. However, in the harmony, when it comes to harmonic inversion, I don't think there's too much when it comes to rhythm. I mean, there's probably a version, but in harmony, it means that you are going to take the notes in the chord and you're going to change the order in which they're happening. Because when you have a chord, you're making a chord out of specific notes, right? Let's take, for example, the chord of C major, C, E, and G. And the thing is, when you have music, you have the concept of octaves. Octaves means that C, E, and G, there's more than one in a piano. There's C, E, and G over here. There's down here. There's down here. There's up here. And the concept of a harmonic inversion is the idea of taking these and flipping them up. So, for example, here we have C major in what is called the root position, because we have C, we have E, and we have G. Here they are with C in the bass. This would be called root position because C is in the bass. If we were to do the inversion, the concept of inversion, the simplest way to put it is that the lowest note gets turned up an octave. So then we would have E, G, and C, which would make C major in its first inversion. Then if we do that again, we take E and we take it up an octave. So now we have G, C, and E, which is C in second inversion. And the cool thing about inversions is that then you can apply the concept of open and closed chords. An open chord, a closed chord is a chord that it's within an octave. So here is an octave, right? Here's the lower end of one octave, the higher end of one octave. If the notes of the chord are within that octave, then it is in a closed chord. However, if it exceeds that, then it becomes an open chord. Let's say we have our C major here, and we bring an extra E up here. It's still C major, except now it's an open chord. So if we combine both of those aspects, we can get some really, really cool versions of C major. For example, we can have the bass over here playing C and G, and then we can bring this one over here. We can bring C, G, and E. This is going to sound very, very different than just our regular C major chord, even though we are playing the same notes. So to an extent, we're having a combination of that going on over here in the guitar. The guitar mostly is doing some very simple arpeggios, and then we are having a chime giving us our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence of which everything else comes from. James probably post another 400 videos in order to justify his error. Yes, I have to post another 400 videos with the keyboard now. So, doesn't have Discord open frame. Oh, okay. Then, yeah, I don't know what to say. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see where it goes. There we go. We have that motif. Now, the motif is now doubled. We have the first synth, the kind of chimey synth that we had, and now we have a piano playing along with it. A doubling just means that there's more than one instrument doing the same thing. And it's usually for the purposes of texture. Let's see where it goes. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so we take another version of the arpeggios being played, and we introduce our drums now, bringing the accompaniment forward and letting us know, hey, this is how it's going to sound now. So accompaniment means the backing band, the instruments in the back that are not going to take the center stage. It's going to be the accompaniment. Let's see where this goes. There's the motif again. We're building up towards something. The drums. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Alright, okay, so there's quite a few things that happens. We got our beat drop with a very cool moment of, like, taking everything, like, obfuscating everything and bringing it back forward. That would be a brief moment of going off the ramp, I would say. So off the ramp is a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there's no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats, as it was over here. It can be as long as an entire section. And the point of it is to make your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How do you do that? Remove the drums. In this case, the bass, we turned up the bass while we removed the drums to make that boost feel even stronger. We drop the beat, and now we are having, of course, the whoop-whoopness of electronic music, and we're doing the motif in several parts. We are having a split. The motif is now split into several parts. We have basically a conga line of instruments doing part of the motif each. So we're having the bass starting the first couple of notes of the motif, then we have the one of the synths going with the next one, and then one of the other ones, and then we're having some arpeggios going down to have this kind of stuff. Is it okay if I have 5 phones on the side? I'm doom scrolling while listening to you. 5 phones? Why do you have 5 phones? why do you have 5 phones? Like, I have 2, and one of them is because I didn't have the heart to throw it away when I upgraded my phone, so it's just sitting there in the box. Anyway, let's see where this goes. So yes. Okay, and now we bring in another motif, another version of the motif, and another synth being a lot higher. While we're having a bunch of adornments, I really like that chiptune synth giving us that downward arpeggio. It's a really cool thing, and it's not there just for texture, but it actually links the highest note to the lowest note. It gives us a straight line to keep everything pretty much smooth. Because when it comes to music, you have 3 types of movement when it comes to notes. You have straightforward, so you have just straight motion. Straight movement, you have steps, and you have leaps. And then, of course, silence being the fourth technically, right? So when you're moving straight in music, that means you just have one note and you're just holding that note, right? Now, when it comes to this, then a step is going to be a second. Oh boy, now I have to explain. Now I just brought this upon myself. All right, buckle up, boys, because this one's gonna be a complex theme, a complex concept. So, in order to understand the concept of steps, we need to understand the concept of scales. So, scales is a collection of notes that exists in the meta. This is the collection of notes that we can pick. We pick our scales from the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is the scale from which every other scale comes from in Western music, which is all 12 tones of the musical scale with A tuned at 440 hertz. This is all black and white keys in the keyboard. And each of these is called a semitone. The distance between each of these notes is a semitone. So we have, and I'm going to list them all, right? So we have C, C sharp, or D flat. This is called an inharmonic, by the way. Inharmonic, which means you write them different, but they mean the same thing. They do the same thing, they mean the same thing. So we have C, C sharp, D, or D flat, D, D sharp, or E flat, E, technically E sharp, but we're not going to count this for this time, F, F sharp, or G flat, G, G sharp, or A flat. Let me stretch this a little bit further. A sharp, or B flat, and B. This is all 12 tones, and the distance between each and every one of these is a half step. So each of these is going to be a half step. And this is the cool thing. The more you go from one to another, then you just add halves, right? So the distance between C and C sharp is half a step, which means the distance between C and D is 1 step. And you just keep counting half steps like that. So when it comes to steps, a movement up to 1 step, or in some cases an augmented step, which is up to 3 half steps, and the augmented step is the third half step in very specific circumstances. Otherwise, it is up to 1 step. And a leap is anywhere where the distance between the first and the second note is more than 1 step. So, if we were to say D being the first note that we play, let's bring this over here, right? So we have D. And the distance between D and C, if we do D and C, the distance between D and C would be a step, because we have D, D flat, and C. By the way, an easy way of being able to tell whether or not it's sharps or flats. Sharps is when the note is going upward. So if we were going so C, D, E, F sharp, because we're going upwards. And it is flat if usually you're going downwards. Layman-friendly, I told you, this one's going to be one of the more complex concepts that we have, but now I have landed on the idea of the motion, right? So we're now talking about steps. So if the distance is a single step, so D to C or D to E, then we have stepwise motion. And don't forget, all of these are half a step apart. C to C sharp is half a step apart. C sharp to D is half a step apart. All of these, and then you just add them up. You just add them up. So then you have leap motion, leapwise motion, which means anything that is greater than a step. So in this case, D to F, that is a leap. D down to B is basically another leap. Those are the three main kinds of motion that you have. And there is an unspoken rule. It's not really a rule, but it's a common practice that if you do a big leap, if you do a big leap between two melodies, usually you want the melody to go the other way when you land. So let's say we are playing over here. We have C down here, and we want to bring the leap all the way over here. Ideally, you want to make the melody go downwards in order to feel more organic. So we would go. Because otherwise, it can sound a little bit wrong. It kind of feels a little bit disjointed. So the way that over here, New Year is amending this difference, because I think the bass is continuing to go the same direction, is that before having the melody on the top finish, once that finishes, before the bass continues going downwards, we are having an arpeggio going so that it connects both lines. So therefore, we're not going stepwise motion, we're going leapwise motion. So yeah, this is probably one of the most... Look, this is one of the more basic concepts in music. It's just a complex one when you get to the motion itself. Like the chromatic scale that's the alphabet of music, right? So yeah. And the reason why there's no E sharp or F, there's no E sharp and no B sharp is reasons. There's no valid reason. It's just music. It's because music is not supposed to be symmetrical. That's why. Because the only symmetrical leap that exists is the tritone, and it sounds horrible. It doesn't sound horrible. It's unstable. It's the only thing that sounds unstable. So yeah, we're having this little arpeggio happening that gives us... It's not really an arpeggio. It's more like a slide, like a glissando, giving us a very, very cool sharp. So yes, I mean, technically there is a C sharp. Gershon, thank you for the 10 bits. Why does the chord sound like Vsauce theme? Because it's probably because they use tritones. Like for example, The Simpsons, they use a tritone that just goes up. So yeah, there's a bunch of these, but yes, technically there is such a thing as E sharp. There is such a thing as B sharp. And these are inharmonic with these, right? So there is E sharp. There is... Jesus Christ, what the hell did I just press? What did I just... Okay, E sharp, I have no idea what I just pressed. And then there is B sharp, that is technically C. And consequently, E is also F flat. The difference is that because of how it's put in the piano, you can see here we have C, C, D, and E. And the reason is we structured it so that E and F, there's no black key over here, so we don't call them that. That's the main reason. That's the main reason. Has Vsauce music been on LFA? No. That might have been F11. I don't know. I'm not used to opera. Anyway, so yes, these things can happen, and there are situations when notes like B sharp, F flat, E sharp exist, but those are a little bit more advanced in terms of everything. Yes, Gershon, no, I did explain. This keyboard is not new. I've had this keyboard the whole time. I just forgot I had it. Like, I'm talking, I've had Contact since 2017? No, 2015. I first got Contact. I've had this specific keyboard that I have, an M Audio Keystation 49, since 2018. So yeah, I've had these for a while. I just legitimately forgot I had them. So yeah, we're having this, and this whole rant was because I really like the little chip tune going downwards, because it gives us a connecting tissue between the high melody and the low bass. Let's see where it goes. Off the ramp again, kind of. New variation of the motif, high up. Alright, I'm just gonna take this. We're speeding up the drums again. We bring a new variation of the motif over here. Off the ramp. We bring the guitar now. We bring back an acoustic guitar now, strumming the chords. So in guitar, in the action of strumming a chord, or strumming in guitar, is just when you play the strings. That's it. That's strumming. There's strumming, and then there's picking. Those are the two main ways of playing the guitar. There's a couple of more, but strumming and picking. Strumming is when you just play basically full hand, all strings. Picking is when you go for one individual. There's finger picking, and there is picking. Finger picking, well, you use your fingers, and picking, you use a guitar pick. That's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, I just wanted to say we're having a guitar strumming the chords, likely the chords that were being played earlier. Let's see where it goes. We're gonna need the computer, yeah. Ooh. Okay, so now we are doing what sounds to be a reduced variation of the motif being repeated very fast. So, in music we have the concept of reduction. Reduction being when you speed up your musical idea. Let's bring up our C major motif. Now, if we reduce it, we're gonna play it faster. It's that simple. So we're doing that, of course, with a more complex motif over here, and we're just repeating it one after the other, after the other, after the other, which would technically make it an ostinato. Ostinato is just when you repeat something many times. So, let's see where it goes. Alright, we bring this new version of the motif in the synth. Ooh, we had some chiptune then. Ooh. Oh wow, there's so many changes going on very quickly. But at the same time, we are having the bass and the synth above maintaining a good pace for the motif, and we are splitting the motif among the instruments. And I think every time the chiptune synth plays is yeah, I think that marks the end of the repetition and it starts it again. So yeah, wait, is videos good Saturday? Let's go upload today. No, I sent a message to members this week, the one that this was recorded, because I worked this week on Saturday. The videos are gonna get posted tomorrow. Yeah, the videos are scheduled tomorrow because I worked on Saturday. This is going to have to be a thing in Hungary. For those of you who don't know, I live in Hungary. And basically here, if there's a holiday that falls on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, instead of getting the day off, the other like Friday or Monday off, just like that, you are given the option in my company. They just automatically sign you up for it to work the previous Saturday in order to get that Friday off. So I worked today. Today is Saturday. The day this video was recorded was on Saturday. I recorded it today. I worked today, and then I'm getting Thursday and Friday off. And I figured, since I usually stream after work, might as well do it today. So yeah. Anyway, let's see where this goes. Oh, we didn't have one, bro. Bonfire. We did not have one. And there we go. New variation of the motif, now on the higher end. What's the special occasion? I have no clue. It's one of the observances. It's Hungary. It's Hungary. It's not Halloween. Hungary has... Like, Hungary has some holidays, like, you know, there's the universal holidays, like New Year's, Christmas, and then there are observance days in Hungary, such as the 1956 revolution, the Viennese revolution, I think they have, the Ottoman revolution, I think they have. These three in particular are the Hungarians remembering when they almost successfully revolted against their oppressors. That being, you know, 1956 was the Soviets, the Vienna was the Austrians, and then the Ottoman ones was the Ottomans, the Turks. And, well, they didn't succeed, but they celebrate a holiday to remember that they almost succeeded. I always joke with Dunkel that Hungary is the country of almost many things, because a good chunk of their holidays are remembrances, observance days for days when they almost successfully did something. So, anyway, so yes, we're now having this new version of the motif higher up. Same thing as before. We're still having this really, really cool bass. I like how the bass has the drums and bass have been very locked in with the beat, just keeping the beat very stable. We have 15 seconds left. Let's see where it goes. That's how it ends. We speed up the drums once again, and we do one last run, a partial recapitulation of the intro with that clock sound, and then we do one last run of the motif, of the original version of the motif, and we end it there. Man, that was fun. And by the way, the motif is, I believe, an escape tone with a neighboring tone. Was it an escape tone? Escape tone is... No, it would be an appoggiatura then. Appoggiatura is when... Yes, okay, so the appoggiatura is... Yes, I think it was an appoggiatura. Hang on, let me just make sure that I... oh, come on, give me... Can anybody just not an appoggiatura? No, there's escape tones. Escape tones and appoggiaturas. I thought it was a thing. Oh god, this is no. The appoggiatura is something else. Escape tones. And what's the other one? I need not AI. Oh my god. There's escape tones and what's the other one? I forgot the name. of the other one. Non-chord tones, escape tones, and the other one is... No, it is appoggiatura. Okay, so... Oh, fuck. Okay, so, yeah, the motif is an appoggiatura, which is a leap followed by a step, and then the neighboring tone is when you have the first note and the third note being the same. So it's an upper neighboring tone with the middle one being a different one. So we have this version. I mean, it was two steps, appoggiatura, basically. Anyway, yeah, I knew it. The internet was lying to me. Anyway, so yeah, the motif was an appoggiatura followed by a neighboring tone. I did a typo there. It could be that, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, there you go. It bothered me that I couldn't remember which one it was. But there you go. That was New Year featuring, I can't read these, dude. I only speak American. New Year by Cheetah Mobile from the Rolling Sky soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, which is a real plausible possibility right now, it blows my mind that we're making it this far so fast. Thank you once again, everybody, for being here. I do not take this for granted. I am grateful every single day that I get to do this at all. And that any of you even like this. I really do appreciate it. So if we somehow hit 10,000, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act an audiobook for it. We had a member of the community offer to do a Discord Nitro giveaway, so if you want to contribute something, or if you have more ideas for me, let me know, and we'll make as much of it happen as possible. This has to be achieved through legitimate and honest means only. No account duping, no alting, no buying followers, no botting, no rat behaviors like that. Go share the videos, the streams with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two distinct concepts, by the way. Use the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how it works, but we have a group on the Discord that does, so go check it out. Link down below. Go coordinate with them. Artists! If you're an artist on YouTube, if you want to collaborate with me, whether you want some guitars from me or some Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old kind of thing, or some voice acting or singing or anything from me, just let me know, reach out, and we will make it happen. We'll work whatever needs to be worked out. And, yes. So if you're in the audience and you know an artist that might benefit from it, let them know. Do not harass anyone. Do not spam anyone. Please be cool about it. Don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I usually schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, regardless of the tier that you're in. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment. It has the instructions on what to do. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. Link down below. I forgot to bring a new town. Let's just go. So if you live in Chicago and you're like, oh yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Don't worry, just go to the Discord or the Twitch. They both have the schedule showing in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the recordings of the video game after shows when they happen. They get recorded on the main channel and then the recordings go there. So links available down below, or just search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd, just swap the J for a G and you got it. And yeah, there you go. New Year, Rolling Sky. That was good. I was just waiting for the, Happy New Year there, but still good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.